Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to America in Black and White, the podcast that delves into the diverse experiences and perspectives within our society. I'm your host, Charles King, and today we have a special guest joining us, the talented musician and community advocate, Guy Michel. Let me tell you guys a little bit about Guy. At the tender age of 5, in the heart of Haiti, Guy embarked on a musical journey that would shape his life forever. Learning to play the cello became his passion, refuge, and voice. It was in the rhythms of Haitian and African music that he first found his inspiration, paving the way for a lifetime of improvisation and innovation. His musical philosophy is rooted in the belief that the cello is not just an instrument but a vessel of limitless potential. He has dedicated himself to exploring and showcasing new possibilities, both in entertainment and education. It's about transcending boundaries and celebrating the rich cultural tapestry that music weaves. Throughout his career, he has had the privilege of sharing his gift with audiences around the world. Some of the most remarkable highlights include gracing the wedding of actress Vanessa Morgan and MLB star Michael Kopech, where the power of music united hearts in celebration. Two unforgettable features on the Latin TV show Mira Queen Bela allowed him to fuse genres and cultures, captivating viewers with the magic of the cello. His journey also led him to perform for two distinguished former presidents of Haiti, Jovenel Moise and Michael Martelli, where the cello transcended politics, serving as a unifying force. His commitment to music led him to become a proud member of the Recording Academy, where he continued to explore new horizons and contribute to the ever evolving world of music. From local stages to national arenas and even international adventures, he has shared his musical vision with diverse audiences beyond the stage. He has held cello improvisation workshops, nurturing the next generation of musicians and spreading the joy of creative expression. His journey is a testament of the universal language of music, and his cello is the brush with which he paints the world in harmonious colors. As he continues to explore innovative and inspire, he invites you to join him on this remarkable odyssey of music, culture, and boundless possibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Guy Michel.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, thank you for joining us again today, and I definitely appreciate you being here. Is there anything you'd like to add to your bio?
No, yeah, kind of. I don't know. Timberland has this company called Beat Club, and I have a couple of samples on his company. So something different.
Oh wow, okay. In that case, is it okay to ask? Are you like just a part of a record label now, or are you still an independent artist?
Still independent.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Um, so let's get right into this, and let's start by talking about your music and performances. How did you first get started in the music industry, and what inspires your creative process?
Let me put down this because I'm like the glare is kind of like crazy. I actually started when I was 5. I'm the baby of 4 kids,
Okay.
and my dad and my mom both sang in a choir, and my older siblings played from the violin, piano, and viola. And the cello has always been my dad's favorite instrument. So I was the last kid.
Oh,
So
wow. So you inherited all of that greatness.
pretty much.
Good deal. So what inspired you to pursue a career in music?
Funny thing is, I was not even trying to pursue it because when I got here, the only thing that I was exposed to was classical music, the traditional way, and I was not interested in that because I grew up listening to music from my culture,
Mhm,
and there was not an avenue for me to explore these things.
mhm,
So I was like, well, it's not gonna happen. So when I went to college, I kind of like I was double majoring in music and computer engineering since I love math. So I figured, might as well pursue nu- uh, some kind of job in the numbers area. I didn't know what that was yet.
mhm.
And then I also love fitness. I teach martial arts right now. And for a while, I thought I was going to be the next. I don't know if you remember P90X back then.
Yes,
I was going to
yes.
be the next personal trainer, training people all over the world. Music just happened to, I won't say by accident because everything happens for a reason. Um, After I graduated college, I started going to different open mic nights, started playing with these guys that really reignited the joy that I had for music because these guys were playing with passion. And it was like exactly what I wanted to do because in terms of expressing myself freely and creatively. So I was like, one day I was like, you know what? Let me just post something on YouTube. And then that's how it started.
The rest is history, and I think it's that cello, because the cello in itself is a very exotic, sultry, peaceful, loving,
Yeah,
instrument, and so it kinda like it just gives you all your life. I just put it like that. It just give you your whole life.
exactly. And it's the rich tone. Every time I play the cello, people always say that it's the closest to the human voice. And that's why I guess it resonates with so many different people.
Mhm.
So,
Wow. So, so can you tell us about a memorable performance or project that has had a significant impact on you and your audience?
oof, it's kind of like a very tricky question. I think what started it all for me when I started playing live was I always tell the story of how when I realized that I could do this for a living is my first gig as a solo artist was at this art gallery. And although there was not a lot of people, but these were the gallery owners. And I did a performance for like about 10 to 15 people.
Mhm,
And it's just these, I guess they like what they saw. And I kept getting phone calls from these owners that they were also having events at their gallery. And then word started spreading because I was doing things differently. And because I was not going there with a music stand and sheet music like they probably would have expected. And I was playing soca, calypso, hip hop, and I was switching from different genres, like a almost like a DJ. So I didn't. It's like kept the party going, and then that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I can do this, and it was kind of different. And I started creating my own path and creating my own style with a little bit of my background as well. So yeah, there you go.
wow. So, with this being Haitian Heritage Month, I mean, are you in any a part of any festivals that's going on? Are you participating in any of those at this point?
Yeah, actually, there was a an event on the actual Flag Day, which is May 18th,
Mhm,
where I actually created a visual. Crazy enough, I was not even thinking about that. I basically released a song for May 18th,
mhm,
and I created the art cover for it, which is a cello with the embedded in the Haitian flag. And then I guess I posted it on Facebook and Instagram, and the event organizer saw it and decided that she was gonna showcase my art cover in her gallery, and then have me perform. So crazy.
Wow. Well, congratulations. I mean,
Thank
look, when you're doing good things, and that's expanding and spreading, people are always looking for that greatness.
you. I try to do my best.
Can you share a memorable moment from your musical journey, a personal
In terms of what?
your personal your personal memorable moment as far as your musical journey goes?
Okay. So I, even though the with the cello, I started branching out of the common stuff, because in the traditional way, the cello is always background, and all the melodies is always towards the violin and like the higher instruments. So the idea for a cellist to play solo is still somewhat uncommon. So the light bulb that went on was when I started experimenting with. I'm like, why do I have to be the background? I can choose to do a solo once in a blue moon. Let me try to work on expanding my vocabulary as if I was a singer. What if I could do that on the cello? And that's pretty much. I think that's the pivot in my cello playing, where now when I perform, I think of myself as a singer, and I try to emulate that on the cello.
Oh wow. So that in itself, I mean, that's a whole new creation in its own right.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, that's truly inspiring. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk about culture and community. How do you see your music contributing to the cultural landscape and fostering a sense of community among your fans?
um, well, a lot of I've been getting lately where people are saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing something different. I'm representing the Haitian community," because now, even though I play other genres, but there's always a sense of Haitian music style incorporated in my playing. So I think my fans appreciate the fact that I'm kind of like deciding to not fit the norm and try things my way and see how it goes. Because I'm like, everybody has their voice, so no two people are the same, whether it's musically or just in life. So I'm like, everybody has their voice, their own musical touch, and you could go as far as you want. Just create your own way. That's why I always say I create my own lane, because there's only one of me. I'm gonna play the cello the way that I want, not the way somebody think I should play it. So
Hearing you say that, that's comparable to what I know of Basquiat. And I've watched when I watched his movie, that biography that was done, it was it was touching, but also it was amazing to see the creative process. And it's like when I'm listening to you, the creative process is one that, kind of like, I guess when it hits your mind and you think about how you want to do it, and you get in there and you just make it happen.
yes,
So how does that make you feel when you think about that process?
it actually is still somewhat surreal that like just an idea can just be translated through an instrument, and especially the fact that just out of the blue just was like, let me just go totally left field, and it was a huge risk. I didn't know whether it was going to work or not, but it feels good now that I see people come up to me and ask me, "Oh my gosh, I've been trying to get out of the traditional way, and now that I see you doing your own thing, I want to be able to find my own voice through my instrument, through my cello." So it feels good that now I'm seeing that the traditional way is not the norm anymore. Now people like want to learn the violin or viola cello and just understand it and play the music they love. It's not just so the violin or the cello is made for a particular genre, which I love now. People are starting to see
Mm, I mean, that's interesting.
it.
I mean, that's really interesting. I mean, being a creator, I mean, I think it's one of those things that, um, for a lot of people looking outside, I think it's like to see what an artist actually puts together, and when you see that final picture, and it's like it's one of those things that's when it's breathtaking. And so it's like when I heard you playing, on one of the posts that I saw you made that you did, and it's like I played it like about 5 or 6 times
Wow.
because you had that cello. It was howling. And I'm like, oh my God, that is just amazing.
And thank you. What a lot of people don't realize is 99% of the time, I'm just making it as I'm playing. So
Wow.
even when I perform live, I don't have a set thing that I rehearsed. I'm gonna play it this way. It's just the music start playing and I start going, and it takes me wherever it takes me.
Wow, see, I love that. See, that's why I need to have a big party, and I need to have you playing. So, how do you approach songwriting and creating music?
um, oof, it's kind of like the same improvisational stuff that I have.
Mhm,
I can start with just one note, and then I have another idea come to mind. I put it in to see it's kind of like a build up. I play, and maybe it's just a random. Sometimes I'm in a shower and the random tunes pop in my head. I
mhm.
record it. I try to remember it. I play it, and then as I playing it, something else comes, and then I keep building like Legos.
Oh,
And
wow.
before you know it, I'm like,
You
it's not
got the
bad.
whole building or the whole city.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's always how my brain works.
It's incredible to see the impact that music can have on society. As a community advocate, what initiatives or projects are you currently involved in that are making a difference in your community?
Okay, so the first thing is like the whole thing about the what the instrument is made for. There are a lot of people that think they're not in an orchestra, they can't play the cello. And now I've been going to different schools to play to do kind of like to do some talks with the kids, especially the ones that love the instrument but don't like classical music, which is okay because not a lot of people will like the genre. So just like some people don't like country music, some people don't like pop. It's okay. So, but they love the instrument. So now the impact that I see, like some kids pick up the cello and they love hip hop. A lot of them come up to me. They listen to J Cole. They want to be able to do whatever they heard, whatever the latest song is. They want to replicate that on the cello. I'm like, why not? Some
Mm,
people come up to me with Chinese music. I have no idea what that is, but I listen to it. They're like, hey, you can do that too. It's wherever your mind takes you, you can do that. It's an instrument
mhm,
like the guitar or drums. People don't learn the guitar to be in a guitar orchestra and play classical. You see Jimi Hendrix, they have the guitar, they play whatever they want.
mm,
You have singers of a whole variety. Of the range is big. You don't learn to sing opera. You learn the mechanism of singing. They tell you this is how you breathe, this is how you project your voice, and then there are pop, R&B, soul, jazz singers. So why can't it be the same thing for these instruments? You understand? This is how you play the instrument. This
mhm.
is what the notes are, and then you take it wherever you want to take it.
Wow. So, well, let me ask you this. I mean, that's a lot to pack. But um, so when you first started playing, did you actually have lessons or did you self teach yourself?
No, I had lessons, but I'm very grateful to my teacher who actually exposed me. I think he was ahead of his time. I did not start playing classical music. I
Mm,
started playing Haitian music. I'm from Haiti. I'm gonna play Haitian music. That's what I grew up listening to. So the idea for you to tell me that I'm from Haiti, there are a lot of, you know, rich culture in Haiti. Then you mean to tell me I have to learn about Mozart in order for me to learn about African music? Make sense to me.
mm,
So he started teaching me how to play stuff from our culture, which is Haiti, which is very African based. There's a lot of drumming. There's a lot of different. There's like so many different genres within the same Haitian music. There's bossa nova. There's Haitian jazz. There's like what they call troubadour. There's compa. There's zouk. There's so many different things, and there's so many different composers. So the idea for you to tell me that I had to learn about Bach and Mozart, if I didn't like that, to me is crazy. I'm from Haiti.
right. I get you. You know, that is again, that's another one of those things that, when you can build on your culture
Right,
and you have the expression of your culture that actually carries it the way it should be carried, and it has a way, especially when you listen at you playing the cello, how it, like, once it gets in the ear, into the mind, the spirit, and the soul, it automatically draws you. And I've got to say that I think when you're playing instruments like that, if people don't know how to listen to music, I mean, so we can understand that. But if you understand what you're listening to, then you have no choice but to just love this. You know?
right. I mean, that's the whole point of music. It's supposed to tap into the emotion.
Yeah.
And it's not just technique, yeah. It's to showcase how great you are. But if the audience feel nothing, then you're doing nothing.
Wow. So who are some of your musical influences and why?
uh, well, the one of the presidents that I played for, he's like they call him the king of compa. It's like he's like our Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So I grew up listening to him. I grew up listening to like the old school stuff that my dad used to listen to. And when I moved here, I started listening to kind of like the hip hop, the because in Haiti I didn't listen to hip hop until I moved here. Then I started, oh my gosh, these guys when they rap, it's all rhythmic. So I started paying attention to that. Like how can I combine the rap side of it with the different rhythms and singing. So it's like rhythm plus melody. So I started listening to the old school like LL Cool J, all these guys when I moved here, and the 95 Coolio. It's like, because I moved here in 95. So like the old school hip hop, the Nas of the world, I started paying attention to how these guys rhyme. So I started emulating that on my cello. So these are the guys that I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Well, so with some of them being some of your influences, who is your biggest musical influence?
Ooh. Right now, I would say there's this guy named Toby Ngwe. I always butcher his name. He is one of those people that just does things his way. And he's from Nigeria. He combined kind of like the same thing I'm doing right now. He does like the most left field, but he's into hip hop. But he sometimes combines some rock, some like you got to look him up. Like
Mhm.
that dude is incredible. Right now, he is my creative inspiration.
Oh wow. So now here we go with this really big question here.
Okay.
What is your favorite song to perform live?
Ooh. I know it might sound cliche. I don't have a favorite one. I
Okay.
usually play whatever get the people dancing. So
Okay.
sometimes what I may think will work, and it goes over the audience. And sometimes what I think may not work, the audience is like, "Ooh!" So I don't have a favorite. I just play
So,
whatever gets the people going.
okay. Well, can you play something to get us going?
Yeah. So I'm gonna play. It's like a calypso version of Haitian music. So they call it soca calypso, which is I'll play it and I'll play real quick, and hopefully you get a glimpse of part of my culture. Where's my bow? I had it. Give me 1 second. All right, got my bow. So when I play it, you're gonna tell me how the sound of the music is. If it's loud or too low, and I'll adjust it accordingly. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Hey, I thank you so much there. That was definitely all that. I love that.
Thanks.
See, that's big time right there. That's big time.
Thank you. So that's kind of like a calypso version of our Haitian music.
Okay. So how do you use your music contributing to social change or activism?
Well, kind of like goes back to what I was saying about what the instrument is for. So my goal is to be like, it's not only what they've been telling us. You could use it to as a whether you want to do it professionally or not. You could use the cello either therapeutically or as a career. So I've been basically very vocal about I say the lie about what the instrument is capable of. And not to say that classical music is a bad thing, but it cannot be the only thing that kids are exposed to. They
Mhm,
should learn music. Music is the same. If I play one note, you won't be able to tell the difference in terms of genre. One
mhm,
note is the same note. As long as you understand where the notes go on the cello, that's what on the instrument, that's what it should be taught. And then if you decide to play classical music because you like it, then go for it. But if you don't like it, you don't have to play it. So that's why I'm so passionate about this subject. It gets me going.
yeah, see, but see, I think that's the good thing when you get that passion like that. That passion is what makes your music like just have that burst that when people hear it, it's like it's just like, yeah, I'm feeling that. Like I want to tell you, when you was just playing just now, I was like, I was all over the place, but I will tell you, it reminded me of something that I heard in a movie. And so I'm like, that just got it going on. You just making it doing all this, that. I'm like, look, that's the way you do it. That's what's up.
Thank you. I was in the moment. I was
Yeah.
in the moment.
Can you tell us about a project or collaboration that has been particularly meaningful to you?
Oh, actually, the latest one. I just released a song called "Passionate Love," and although it sounds like a love story between a man and a woman, but it's really about my love for Haiti because of all the chaos that's going on right now. I would love to be able to travel because I've since '95 I've only been back once, and it was years ago because of all the turmoil. So that's pretty much why I wrote this song, "Passionate Love." Haiti is like it's embedded in me, and I always look forward to the day where I can travel freely, just like people go to Jamaica, people go to other countries,
Mhm.
and to be able to take my kids to where it all started to show them their roots. I want to be able to just go there on a random summer. So that's really what's like. It's this song. I know people always say this song means a lot, but this song really means a lot to me because that's the reason why I wrote it to
Mhm.
reflect my deep love for Haiti.
So, what is the song about, and what is the gist point that you're
So
trying to make within the song?
so it's called Passionate Love, and it's basically a man saying, basically, he want to take this girl, want to travel to Dubai and all these things, but he doesn't mention Haiti. And basically, it's this girl saying she longs, although he's saying something, but she's saying something else. She's saying she longs for the days where she could just feel the breath, feel the summer, feel the heat, being able to just basically feel my body. So it sounds like, a love connection, but it's really me feeling Haiti. And so it's feeling in my body where I can go to the beach and lay down and, express myself and get involved back deep into the culture. So that's why, the whole thing, feel my body, you know, passionately in love with me. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much what it is.
Mm. How do you balance your music career with your advocacy work in the community?
I think it's all one because music is the gateway to all the stuff that I believe in, and I utilize the connections, the network that I have in my music world to be able to reach out to help others who basically either don't think it's possible for them to have a career in music, or the ones who basically don't have the means to play music. I had a chance. Well, the only time I went back to Haiti, I did a couple workshops for a bunch of kids who are very talented, but didn't know as which directions to go, and they didn't think it was possible. But the fact that I went there inspired them to know that, hey, somebody like you from Haiti could actually make a career. You never know. Just got to keep at it. Don't lose hope, and then keep going, and then you never know where it could take you. But don't get discouraged. So that's why I'm like, music and advocacy is one, because music is only that's the only reason why I'm able to do it now, is because of what I've accomplished in
Mhm.
music.
So, with the advocacy that you do within the community, um, can you like give us like the most inspirational part of what came to you that made you want to be an advocate?
Because if I could do it on the cello, not only that, not only as a
Mhm,
black man from Haiti, playing a very rare instrument, which is the
mhm,
cello. If I'm able to do this for a living since 2008,
mhm,
it's possible. Like if I'm able to do it, and I'm a testament that I wake up, play the cello, I do this for a living, and I've been able to sustain that, to have a family, to pay for everything with a very rare instrument. Like it's possible. So I usually have talks with people to say, hey, don't give up so easily, because it doesn't matter how niche, how crazy ideas are, you may go places, because who would
mhm.
have thought that I'd be doing what I'm doing with the cello.
Well, see, that's just the thing. So it's like with you being that lead person right now at this point, and let's say you're in Florida.
Hmm.
Okay, so being in the Southeast and you being what do they call them, Chilean? Uh, uh, okay, when you play the cello, so it's like there can't be that many people that's playing that instrument or playing it as good as you play it. So, how do you get people to be inspired, more inspired, to come and learn to play this instrument, but also try to master it?
I guess when the stuff they've seen on my social media, for me to go from a kid playing locally at different open mics
Mhm,
to being called to perform internationally. So a lot of kids are like, "Oh, you could do that? I didn't know you could play hip hop. I didn't know you could do this." A lot of them actually did not know that they could play stuff they like.
mhm,
Because even some of the parents that come up to me was like, "Oh my gosh, my kids come home to me playing like rock music." I'm like, "Yeah, it's possible. Why not? It's possible to play anything you like. Like, I'm not gonna force you to like your genre. You come from a different background from me.
mhm,
I come from a different background. Music is music. But if we both wanted to learn the same instrument, why would I force you to learn the songs that I like? I'm
mhm,
gonna teach you music so you can understand it, so you can play songs you like. guess what? You're gonna be inspired to continue to play because now you're doing the things you love.
Right.
So that's all like,
Wow. But you don't find many teachers actually that teach anything the way you just explained. Because now when most people give instructions, they give you instructions for what they say you should be in this lane right here doing this, just like this. You know? And so for you, it's like it's not this, it's this.
yes,
And so this is what I think a lot of people need to understand about how when they say people have different teaching styles, but which style is best for you. And see, I think when you give that expansive teaching style like that, it opens all floodgates for those that are creative and really want to learn, especially a sophisticated instrument like cello.
right. I mean, that's the whole idea. Because I'm like, I know what I know. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach you what you want to know.
Mhm.
I'm just the bridge. So I have the knowledge. I know music. I know the notes. So I'm not
Mhm.
gonna tell you this. You should do it because you come. The only reason why you come up to me is because you want to understand music, so you can do the things you want. So why should I force you to do the things that I want?
Exactly.
That makes no
Exactly.
sense to me.
Right. Um, can you tell us what drives your passion for empowering underprivileged youth through music education?
Um, oof. My main motivation is to basically bypass the whole, I call it paradigm, that you have to do orchestra, you have to do all these things. That's my main motivation. Hey, to let these kids know, hey, the cello is not a classical instrument. The cello is an instrument. What you do with it is up to you. My goal is for it now for it to hopefully soon people will know that hey, this is the norm now. I want to play whatever instrument that I want. So if I want to play the cello and I want to get into a smooth R&B band playing the cello, that's what you like. That's what you like. If I want to be the next Motown of the cello, it
Mhm.
is what it is.
That's
So that's my inspiration for music to really be an art where people can learn to express themselves creatively, artistically, and everybody would have their own voice. That's my goal.
okay. How do you think music can bridge cultural divides and promote unity?
Oof, music create emotion,
Right.
and music is therapeutic. A lot of people want music can make you very happy. It can make you very angry. So it is the main emotional force. So how you use it is basically solely up to you. So music can open up a lot of doors if you use it properly because it could make you feel empowered. It could make you feel motivated, and with if it's used in a positive way, then you could use that to do whatever you want.
So let me ask you this, because like this just popped in my mind. When people are doing other genres of music and they go into a music studio and they use the little soundboards and they create tracks and they bounce this, that, and the other up and down, move all around. Then all of a sudden they have a finished product. Is it possible to do something like that with the cello?
Yeah, I do that all the time. People call me. I actually
Really?
have a studio, a homemade studio. I don't know if you see my mic.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I have a home studio where people basically send me an idea, and I just write the cello, and I create like different tracks, and I make it sound full, like yeah, like a whole orchestra. Sometimes I have like six, seven different parts, and I send it over, and then the music is created.
So have you played with an orchestra before?
I actually played with a few orchestras when I first came,
Okay.
um, but after I graduated, I got away from it.
Okay. So, what about when you're doing your tour? Um, So when you do your tour, is it just you, or do you have like special guest people to do stuff with you?
Yeah, sometimes people call only me, and sometimes I have, other people with me. I have this the past what 2 months, 2 months ago, I went to Turks and Caicos, and I played with it was me and this violin guy. It was only two of us
Hmm.
entertaining for a weekend.
Oh
So
wow,
it all in one, yeah.
that was awesome. Do you ever record any of those?
Oh yeah, I actually posted this, I think, a couple minutes ago, right before
Okay.
I got on this call. I posted us doing sound check, and then we was just jamming.
Oh wow, see, I bet that was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was a incredible time. It was awesome.
Oh, what challenges have you faced in your career, and how have you overcome them?
The challenge was when I first decided to pursue this as a solo career. People were like, nah, you can't do it. It's cello's background, cello's this, cello's that, but limited mindset. So it was hard for me to have people believe that they could hire me as the main person, and not just a violin when back then it was like just a DJ, or a rapper. So it was kind of like an uphill battle to let them know, hey, I can entertain you on the cello. It's not just the stuff that you hear and that you perceive. So it was really hard for me to pitch to people that hey, you want a cellist for your party? Be like, nah, come on, be serious.
Well, hey, like those real classical upscale parties, I'm sure they definitely like to have cello players.
Oh, for sure.
Can you share a behind the scenes look at your creative process when working on a new song or project?
Sometimes it's funny how people have different ticks before they to tap into the creative world. Especially as musicians, a lot of people, weed is a big thing. You go to the studio, like everybody's smoking weed, but I'm not a smoker.
Mhm.
But I use martial arts. I do a lot of like shadow box. I do a lot of crazy things to get my mind going. I'm like, like I'm getting ready for a battle.
Okay.
That's how I get in the zone.
So then is that basically more of a mental focus thing for you?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. How do you stay motivated and inspired as an artist and community advocate?
Because the job is not over yet. I'm just scratching the surface. If I stop doing it, then it's not gonna get done. So
Mhm.
I have to keep going because what I want to see, what I see in my mind, I have to see it through. So every time I feel like, come on, somebody else could do it, I'm like, nope, nope, has to be me. I started it. I have to make sure it comes to life. So that's what keeps me going.
So so let's just say in that whole process, do you have a ritual that you like to get in that you like get to or you do before you actually perform?
Um, no. Sometimes yes. It depends on the event. I usually take a shot.
Oh, really? So
Take
the
a
shot
shot.
gets you ready.
I walk around. I'm like, yo, we got this. Let's go. Keep talking to myself. Sometimes I'm like, maybe somebody's looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, yeah, let's go, Gee, let's go, let's go. You can do this. I'm like, I'm doing all these crazy things.
See, and I think that's one of the special things about being an artist is because when you guys are in that creative process, the creative process looks like it's one of those things that can be like it's just stuff you throw on the wall. And so when you throw it on the wall, I mean, it looks like to the eye of somebody else, oh, that don't stick. But when it sticks for you, it sticks, and you're like, yep, and you can
Yep,
connect dots.
exactly. So it's unless you understand it, it seems like we're just being crazy, but we're not. It's like organized chaos.
Yes. Yeah. What advice would you give to young musicians looking to make a positive impact through their music?
Discover your own voice. Although it is good to imitate, but it's better to be unique
Mhm.
because what you have, if you focus on your own way of your own fingerprint, I would say, then you will go far versus trying to be do exactly what everybody else is doing. If I was doing what everybody else was doing, I would not be here right now. I decided to do things my way because I realized my uniqueness and I tapped into that hard. So that's my advice. Be yourself.
There you go. You know something? Now this is something else when I hear you say that, that makes me think of a musician that I've loved all my life. That's Prince. Prince was just like what you just described.
I love Prince.
And a lot of people just they didn't get it. And
No,
they didn't get it. They was just like, no, that's a little bit too much for me. But it was very simplified. It was to the point. This way.
because people will always talk about Prince 100 years from now because
Yes.
Prince is an icon because he
Yes.
did things his way.
Yes. And that's where you're heading to icon status, right?
That's the plan.
That's what's up. So when, if you had to give advice to young aspiring musicians, what would that be?
Be patient because now everybody's focusing on going viral
Mhm.
and they give up so easily. They don't understand it takes 20 years for the overnight success. And when they see me perform international, they don't understand that it started obviously when I was 5. And actually, my career started in 2008.
Mhm.
So it's been a long journey of ups and downs and a lot of disappointments. So now when they see me performing and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to do it now. But I'm like, no, you got to be patient. Don't fall into the whole going viral. We expect to post one video and then somebody's gonna call you and then you're gonna sell out Madison Square Garden. That's not how it works.
That's definitely a dream.
That's a dream.
That's
So
definitely a
it didn't work. So because opportunity can come to you, but if you're not ready, you can have the opportunity, but you're gonna mess it up. You see a lot of times people have like people go viral way too quickly and then they forget about you the next in 2 weeks because when these all these opportunities came, they were not ready because they were chasing virality. I chase consistency,
there you go. Because that means that you're talking about longevity.
longevity. That's
Mhm.
it. So when opportunity comes, I built enough I put in the sweat enough to stay there. Once I get in the room, I'm in to stay because I'm
Mhm.
ready. I put in the work.
I love that. Um, can you tell us how do you see the role of music evolving in society, particularly in addressing social issues?
So now everybody's like talking about their feelings, and it's always constant. Even with the whole social things between what all the stuff we see going on now. So it's now more. There's a blend of so many different things, especially in the music world. Back then, it was like a certain way, but now people are tapping into different genres. You see Beyonce trying to go country. You see all the Latin people trying to play house music. So now I feel like as a creative, if you are not expanding your mind, you will be obsolete. If you only think like the traditional way of doing concerts and everybody sit down, they don't clap until everybody stay quiet and you all dress in tuxedos. If that's your way of performing all the time, then you will be in a couple of years irrelevant. So you have to constantly reinvent yourself to see whether you like it or not. The world is moving. So if you try to stay in the past, you like the past. Well, so I'm happy to hear that you like the past. However, the world doesn't care what you like. It is going to keep on going. Even the way we made music back then is
Right.
different. So
Mhm.
you got to evolve.
Right. Um, so when you think about, let's say you started in 2008, and
Hmm.
let's go back to 1995, and you're 2008. Can you compare that that period in between to where you are now, where things have evolved and changed?
Oh, for sure. 95, I was still a kid who, although I wanted to do the things that I'm doing now, that
Hmm.
I did not have the avenue. I was told this was the only way. Between 95 and 2008, I was confused and I
Hmm.
was frustrated because I was like, I want to play the things that I like, and people were telling me no.
Hmm.
So, and because I wanted to study music, I had to, I guess, play the game, fall in line.
Hmm.
But the minute I graduated a couple years after, I was like, you know what? There's nothing that's gonna force me to. I'm not gonna go back to school to study. So I might as well pursue what I want. So
Hmm.
in 2008, I felt liberated to do things my way, and then I did
Oh,
it.
wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
So how does how does technology or IT, how does that play its part now in the music industry?
I feel like as a musician, you have to at least have a little bit of knowledge in technology, whether it's sound, because now a lot of people are playing electronic music, electronic instruments. So the days of just taking the acoustic are over. So, well, now I would say over, but less and less people take them. So you have to understand sound. You have to understand how to connect all the different. You almost got to think of yourself as a sound person when you're playing live. How do you connect? How do you project the best sound for people to hear? How do you use technologies if somebody asks you to do a recording? So, can you do that? Do you understand what to do? How do you create music? How to do all these little things? It's not just playing your little instrument and then have a recital and everybody clap. Like you have to put on so many different hats in terms of technology.
Can you tell us, can you show us how do you actually count measures in music?
Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you something like almost like bars. So
Okay.
I'm actually gonna get I'm gonna get my stuff to see if I can play something for you. So measures are like bars,
Right.
and we have it all the time. When we hear music, we tap our foot,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's kind of like the same way. So when you hear, I'm gonna play a drum beat for you, and I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you what a measure is, and something simple that I think should be explained in a simple term that we try to overcomplicate it. But I'm
Hmm.
like, we all have that music. Natural. I'm gonna put a drum beat right now. Drum beat. I'm gonna put some. Okay. What kind of music do you like?
Oh, I'm eclectic. I love all music.
Okay. I'm gonna put a funk drum beat for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's my time frame.
Okay. Boom. So,
At Fiverr, we
all
offer
right.
free
Let's
tutoring services.
bypass this commercial. All right. So you tell me what you if you hear the music. Okay.
Yes.
All right. It's more like hip hop. Let me give you another hip. Okay. Kind of like b boy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So You hear that? Dun, dun, dun. Do you hear that? Cause see how you bobbing your head?
Yeah.
Automatically, you doing so. There's a thing called. I'm gonna lower this for a minute, so I could explain to you what that is. So you see how you doing? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are different kind of beats. The measure tells you how long the beat is. The measure is.
Oh,
So if a measure is big, sometimes it tells you it has 4 bars, 4 beats per measure. So
oh,
every time you do dun 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 dun, the measure is done. So you move on
okay.
to the next one. So sometimes
Okay.
you have 3 beats per measure, 2 beats per measure, 6. It all depends on what they have. So sometimes people tell you to play a 4 bar in common terms, 4 bar 9. So that means it's 4 beats per measure. So ta 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 ta. So I'm gonna play it again, and then I'm gonna show you what that means. So if we're doing a four bar or 4 beats per measure,
Uh-huh.
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two. So every 4 means the measure is done. Then you
Okay.
go to the second measure.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So see, no wonder they say musicians make the best mathematicians.
Pretty much, because it is very no, it is very related, especially fractions and stuff like that. And
Right.
that's why music and math are very related because when you get into the higher math,
Right.
it makes sense how music is frequency and all that. I mean, I get nerdy and all, but
So that's why you have to be able to listen, right?
that's right. Listening is everything. Listening is music.
That is cool. Now, that's cool. I appreciate that because, like, sometimes I like to know those things because when it just comes to music in general, sometimes, and just being around those that are musicians, and you know how they like to talk the musician talk, so it's like, oh, wait a minute, let me make sure I understand that, so you have to know exactly what sometimes what they be meaning. But what I like about it is I think about when you talk about how you have to measure these beats like that. And
Hmm.
it's just amazing that to the ear, sometimes you can hear it, but to know that people can hear that and some of you musicians can do like 5 and 6 things while that's going and like doing all that mixing and all that kind of stuff. I find that fascinating.
I the way that I try to explain it is like you could chew gum and tie your shoes at the same time. You don't think about it anymore.
You already gone past that. You done chewed the gum, you done walked, you done did everything else. Then you say, okay, it's done.
So it's kind of like that. When you hear it, I could listen to it, and I'm playing so many different because it's one of those things that is when I explain it in simple terms, it makes sense because you don't think about it. You're
Right,
having a conversation while you're tying your shoes. Hey, I'm coming, I'm coming. While you're tying your shoes, you don't think about it anymore
right,
because it's second nature. So the deeper you get into it, you don't have to really think because now it's you see it.
right. So when you was talking about Mozart and those other folk, and that just doing a comfortable thing as to when you first start playing the cello, how are you how do you feel about most classical music or musicians? I mean, like, do you think that some of their stuff actually can come into play, that that you're able to use it with your stuff, or what do you think about them?
I always say the more genre you know, the well-rounded you are. When I speak about classical music, people think I'm trying to bash it. I'm
Hmm.
not because if I understand jazz and I understand classical, I'm able to play bluegrass, country. That makes me a better musician. However, the way classical music is taught is where I'm like, do I disagree with? Because when you first learn, they just put a sheet music in front of you and they tell you have to play it exactly the same way. There's no improvisation, there's no creativity. Because that's why a lot of musicians, once you take the sheet music away, they are lost. They cannot
Hmm.
play. A simple song you ask them to play without the sheet music, they could be the best musician technically. You take away the piece of paper and they sound like a beginner. They're all lost. So
Mm,
that's my problem with the way classical music is taught. Not just it's not the genre, but the way it is taught that I have a
mhm,
problem with.
mm. Can you share a personal story or experience that has shaped your perspective on the power of music?
Ooh, personal experience. I think, ooh, it's kind of like this is a deep question. It's making me think. Um, I mean, music has always, I guess, because I've always been around it. There are times where when I feel kind of like unmotivated, and there may be a song that I grew up listening from my dad and my parents. When I listen to it again, I'm like, ooh, it reminds me of it takes me to that place where no matter what's going on currently, I
Mhm.
can kind of like temporarily forget about it and go back to that
Okay,
specific time. And
okay.
then that calms me where I'm like, okay, now it feels better. Kind of like, I think music, that's what it does for everybody, not just me.
Mhm.
You listen to your favorite song, oh my gosh, yes, it makes you temporarily forget about your problems.
Right. Well, no, you're actually right about that because I know sometimes, just depending upon the feeling, it just depends upon the music that I play. And so it's like I know when I play jazz, I'm like totally relaxed, just
Hmm.
totally relaxed, and I can move about and do what I got to do and not even have a problem. Not even have a
Yeah.
problem. And I've done a whole lot, before I know it, and it's like, oh wow, okay, I'm done. But that's just being relaxed.
It gets you in that creative state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it does. What are your goals and aspirations for your music career and advocacy work in the future?
My dream is for when people hire a cellist to not be background, and just like you have Nas and Jay-Z do a collab right next to each other.
Mhm,
I look forward to the day when people, let's say Beyonce. I'm gonna use Beyonce because she's big. Beyonce asked me to perform. I want to be on stage with Beyonce.
mhm,
Beyonce's here. I'm a feature. It's not like I'm gonna be lost in the shadow somewhere deep where nobody sees me because I'm gonna be part of the orchestra pit. I want to be known as like same thing Jimi Hendrix. When people ask Jimi Hendrix to perform, to do a feature, Jimi Hendrix was on stage, on the main
boy,
stage.
what you talking about? Jimi Hendrix was the man.
He was the man. So I'm like, this is my vision
Mm,
for these kind of instruments. People call me, I want to be right then and there. Hey, give it up for it. I'm going.
mhm.
So that's the dream.
So, just so that's is that like a big collaboration?
Yes. For me, for people to see this instrument as like a feature, just like any other. You ask another singer to play with you, you're not gonna put them way in the back, and then unless you even the backup singers, you still see them.
Mhm.
So why not us?
Right. So how do you connect with your audience during live performances and engage with them on a deeper level?
Um, I'm a social guy, and I've always been silly,
Mhm,
and I use my I guess my social abilities kind of like an MC to
mhm.
not just stay up here because I realize if I just stay up here, people may clap, but the minute the event is done, you're an afterthought. So I want to give them something they remember. Oh my gosh, I remember this guy dancing with me on the cello. And while I was, he's playing the stuff that I like, and then he was hype. He was on the table. He was like, that's how I engage my audience.
Are you ever going to do a music video?
Eventually, actually, I have actually two music videos that I did, but I want to start doing more of these things.
Mhm.
I kind of got lazy, if I'm honest.
Just took you a little mini break.
Yeah, that's right.
What message or emotion do you hope your music conveys to listeners?
um, from happy to feel good to sad to I want to roller coaster. I want to take you on a journey. It all
Mhm.
depends on the kind of music, but nothing negative though. Whatever that emotion is going to be some kind of positive emotion.
Okay. Because you know, again, I go back to like I say that last post that you did, you was playing. I'm like just telling you that. I mean, I can't even describe that, but I just want to tell you that that was truly awesome. And
Wow.
you say you just how you just sit there and you just do that just to do it. I mean, it was just amazing because it's like everything that was coming through those strings was like was like sending pulses of messages, but they were good
Wow.
messages that just captivated, you know? And you know, that's why well, we ain't got to that part yet, but you know, just in the end, I mean, I want to make sure that you be able to tell people where they can catch your performances. How do you navigate the intersection of artistry and social responsibility in your work?
Um, well, in terms of artistry, I just like to experiment. And in terms of social, I want when people hear me for them to know it's me and for people to know that I've basically built something that is unique to me and basically kind of like I'm expressing myself, kind of like a conversation. I don't need to put on a mask to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. When I do play, I want it to come from an authentic place. And this is my whole goal.
Okay. Um, and so this last question was so we can get you off the hot seat. What upcoming projects or initiatives can we look forward to from you in the near future?
I'm not sure I can talk about it yet, but it's a big project that I have coming up
Okay.
that shall remain discreet for now.
Okay.
For now,
Okay.
but I
So
have
is it
a
just
few
one?
things in international that I'm probably going to be doing some more traveling
Okay.
that I can talk about. But the main big one can't talk about it yet.
Okay. That's fine. So where are you going to be traveling to?
I go back to Turks and Caicos. They want
Oh,
me back.
okay. Well, I can
And
imagine that.
yeah, they want me back, and I want to do some more national stuff. I want to start organizing some different pop-ups nationwide because I feel like
Mhm.
it's overdue for me to start hosting events, kind of like go on tour.
Okay.
I've been comfortable playing these like private events, but I think it's also good for me to start performing like outside of that realm for me to host
Mhm.
my own shows.
Okay. Well, so that means then, are you going to have sponsorship when you do that, or are you just doing it on your own?
Well, I'm hoping to if I don't have sponsorship, I'm gonna have to do it on my own. It's like
Mhm.
if there's no seat at the table, I'm bringing my own table.
There you go. One way or the other, it won't happen.
One way or the other, it's gonna happen.
Well, so in closing, is there anything you'd like to leave? Let our audience know, you know, some kind of inspiration or something motivational that they should follow, you know, on your behalf.
So whatever it is that you were hesitant about, do it. Because if I basically never took the first step in 2008, I would not be having this career that I'm having right now. So although it may have seemed like a an obstacle that I couldn't overcome, but I was like, I'm not gonna look at that. I'm just gonna look at the first couple steps, and we'll see where it goes. Take a chance. The worst you're gonna hear is the worst you're gonna get is it didn't work out. But the best you're gonna get is it worked out, and you're actually living out your dream.
Mhm.
So don't be overwhelmed by the amount of work that you're gonna do. Just go for it, and you never know.
Mm. That's some pretty good stuff. So, if people needed to contact you or follow you, how could they do that?
So basically, my website, you can basically see everything. So it's GUYMICHEL music.com. Once you're there, you're going to be able to see all my social media handles.
Okay. And so that and they just follow you from all your social media handles from the website.
Correct.
Alrighty.
Figured I'd just give them one place to go versus telling them a bunch of things so they could find me in just that one location.
Yes, sir. And I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us. I definitely enjoyed, and I'm sure everybody else out there enjoyed that segment where you actually got the opportunity to play that cello because it was definitely slamming. You're a great musician, and I'm looking forward to big things coming from you. And I will tell you, I will continue to follow because I definitely would love to have you come back. When we have that update for where you're at now, because you've
Okay.
already grown, but you're going to be at another level. I'm sure the next time we chat.
That's right.
And for all of you out there, I appreciate you. For those of you that are on the YouTube channel, if you would please hit the subscribe and notification buttons, I would definitely appreciate it because all of the support really matters. And I thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Guy, for blessing us with your presence. Everybody have a wonderful evening. And until tomorrow, you